In this video, I meet up with Ari.
Hello.
And we look at the Pass Plus. Over your shoulder here, back forwards. Right signal on early. He's off, let the lorry come. That lorry really helps us out there, to be honest. Otherwise, we'd have to keep slow for a lot longer, let the lorry pass, because he might not have been able to do that another day. Welcome to the Go To Driving School YouTube channel. This channel is all about helping you learn to drive online efficiently with online learning to drive videos. If you're new here and you like what you see, do consider subscribing. Ari, how are you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
Really good, really good. Just bearing this heat. We're a scorcher again, aren't we?
Yep.
36 degrees or so. As I say, we're looking at Pass Plus today, so I just said to you, didn't I, if we need to stop for any water or whatnot. All part of being a responsible driver, I guess, keeping alert and everything else. And we've got the aircon on pretty full today, so hopefully the audio is going to be okay. The second time we've met up today, we met up last week for, what, do you want to describe a little bit about what last week's?
It was just, I guess, induction into petrol car.
Yeah.
Learning how to start a petrol car correctly, using the revs, not only the clutch, as I used to do with a diesel car. So yeah, we covered various gradients, the clutch control and all that. Moving on.
Stuff.
That was pretty much it, I think.
For those of you wanting to watch Ari's video, which was last week, we recorded it, click the link in the video now. Is there anything that you want to recap from that first session?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Okay, good. Right, so the next thing then is deciding the plan of action for today, which is the Pass Plus. First of all, I want to give you something which is part of the course. Ideally, I would have given it you before, but me and Ari are going to split the Pass Plus into two parts. So we're going to do 3 hours today, 3 hours another time. This is a book for you to have a look over. It's your guide to the Pass Plus course. What do you know about the course already?
My know is just more in depth of what we've already learned as like learner drivers, like covering dual carriageways, I think it was, motorways.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else. Probably complex junctions or something like that.
The course is split into 6 modules, so they are motorway driving, dual carriageway driving, which I think we'll look into. Is that your main kind of thing, your main concern with it, the motorway experience?
Yeah.
You mentioned that a bit last lesson,
Going on
didn't you?
and coming off dual carriageways or faster roads anyway.
Okay, so based on that then, how does this sound as a plan? First of all today, let's go somewhere, like I think you mentioned it last lesson, somewhere a bit more local, where we can practice getting onto a dual carriageway, similar to motorway, and off of one, before we actually go onto the motorways, so that we can always pull over somewhere, discuss, because when we're on the motorways we won't have the option to do that. So this is for you, have a read through. It's just about why the Pass Plus course was put in place and, you know, different bits and bobs, but it might give you some inspiration to Wednesday's session. For those of you watching, today is Monday, the time of recording. I'll see you again in 2 days' time, don't I?
Yep.
Alright, so that's for you. What would you say was your ultimate goal with today's session?
Being more comfortable with slip roads, I think.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's head over and have a look at that. So drive on when you're ready.
Is the engine on or is the thing?
The engine is on, yeah. I know you can't hear it over that extremely loud fan. By the way, if anybody's got a Peugeot 208 and the fan does come on or doesn't come on, anybody that's watching this video, just comment in the comment section below and just let me know what yours is doing. Because my fan is on. I sound like a dustbin road sweeper. You hear it? Fan's always coming on.
The only question is, because I've only driven cars with 5 gears, at which point, because at least for that car, I would put it in 5th, probably from 46 onwards.
Yes.
I'm not sure about the gear 6. So.
Well, what you'll find in this car is it will generally suggest, it's only a suggestion, but it's generally right, in the top right corner as you accelerate, a number will appear. So if you're in 1, it'll suggest 2.
Oh, okay.
When you're in 2 and you're accelerating, it might suggest 3. Use a bit of common sense, try and feel and hear what the car's saying as well as that number, but generally follow that. 46 mile an hour, it's asking for 6th normally in this car.
Oh, okay.
Also, have you ever looked at block change? I don't want to go massively in depth in this, but while we're on about gears and changing, have you looked at block changing before? Block gear changing.
You mean like skipping from 2 to 4? Or
Yeah,
something
stuff like that.
Yeah.
4 to 6.
Yeah,
and that.
sometimes with that,
Yeah.
depending on the speed and stuff.
Okay, good stuff. Alright, so we'll drive on when you're ready. Just let me know if you're unsure of anything, good time or anything like that, and I'll help you. Otherwise, handbrake's on just a little tiny bit there. With the feet, well done. Traffic last lesson was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
When I it took me an hour and 10 minutes to get home.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I just lost the will to live. And then I found out it was because of a Little Mix concert.
Oh really? What, were they in East Midlands?
At the cricket club down at Pentagon. When I found out it was just because of a Little Mix concert, that just tipped me over the edge, that did. Absolutely tipped me.
Interesting. Or you just going straight on?
Yeah, just following it ahead. I presume you've driven down here before, yeah?
It's a distance here.
Sorry?
It's a distance here. This way.
Yeah. There's a bit of paperwork we need to fill out as we go through with the Pass Plus, but I won't bore you with that just yet. Get into the driving, get some things achieved.
Would you normally have your clutch all the way down while it's on red?
I would, or just off the floor. You know, see, like just below the bite, so that it's dead easy to find. Just get to it when it turns to, when it's time to go, basically. Idea to sit with you at bite and on the revs for so long then.
Good damage and wear.
Yeah.
So I can't always know how long the light's going to be on for.
No, not always.
I mean, if you know the area then you probably know, but...
Yeah, local knowledge helps, doesn't it?
Some are super long and some are just like a couple seconds.
Yeah. Steering was a bit tight around that bend than the one up near town. The first sharp left bend we did, with the one way in front of us. I think sometimes just giving it a bigger reach with the left arm. Sometimes just dead sharp, aren't they, left turn, so keep their hands moving, keep tight. So if you could change lanes one to the left when it's safe, please, that'd be great. And again, feel free to talk out. Good stuff then. So we're just following this lane ahead for now. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, the car sounds happy, it's not rumbling, Yeah, I mean this car, about 32, 33, it'll start asking you for fifth, suggesting it, yeah. Keep a look out and you'll see, but if it's wrong, it'll feel a bit, you know, like it's not responding correctly under your feet, really. So we're just following this lane ahead for now. Loving the long brake signal there and the early mirrors. Quite impressed with the mirror work, to be honest. The hill one.
Not gonna lie, that took me a while.
The mirror stuff.
Yeah.
Good footwork there to balance it on the hill, knowing that we're going to be going any second. Useful tools, eh? Useful skills. So what do you think you'll get for your first car? Did I ask you this last time?
Yeah, but don't really have an answer. I think I wouldn't go higher than 1.2 engine.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want any that's older than 2008, so whatever fits in that category.
Yeah.
I know I won't for sure be going with Vauxhall because my sister had one and it was breaking every single
Was
day.
it?
Yeah. Are carriageways super expensive to fix? Because that's what I've been told at least.
Not that I'm aware of. But then again, not that much go wrong, you know. We're going to just go ahead here, following this middle lane for Chaddesden. It's the second exit. Have you been that way before? Yeah. I've had about four Peugeots. But then again, the last couple I've had have been fairly new. So then they're less likely to go wrong. Although I am unsure about this fan. I don't know. I'm not sure it's meant to be that loud and that frequent. I know it's half, but anyway, I'll shut up about that fan now.
It's not that loud.
I went over my allotment the other day. Parked it over the other end of the road. I could hear it over the allotment. It was that loud. That BMW was going pretty quick and the one behind it was just following him. What do you think the speed limit is on this road?
30.
That's it, 30, yeah. So just coming and doing 35, just following the traffic. So just be thinking when you're entering a new road. Well, what would you be thinking when you're entering a new road off a roundabout? What would be a good thing to be?
It usually says if there is a new speed limit, it says on the entrance of the road, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Or just or do you mean to speed up because you're joining the new road and you were kind of slower on the roundabout?
Just thinking about if it's 30 and these guys are going to get straight up to 40, let's think about what it actually is before we kind of, subconsciously follow them, which is easy to do without you're not thinking about it. So what I would do, drop from 5th to 4th. So if you're travelling at 30, 4th gear is going to be a good one in this car. Anything over 30, consider 5th. Yeah, you will find it a bit nippy as well when you put your foot down, so just ease your way in the gap. Especially if you're doing 28, you want to get to 30, ease your way into it, particularly if it's downhill.
And with cars possibly turning out without looking.
Sorry?
With cars possibly turning out without looking or wanting to wait.
Again, lovely long brake signal there. The following car is reasonably close, isn't it? Is that long brake signal on purpose? Would you
Yeah,
say?
just
Or
to say that I'm slowing down. Like, I'm not gonna be one of those people who just speed up and then stop. You know,
why is that dangerous?
they might not be looking.
Yeah.
Or what if my brakes fail? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like anything in life, isn't it? Leave it till last minute. Something's probably going to go wrong. Might not if you're lucky, but. So by giving that longer brake signal, it's going to give them more time to respond, isn't it? If they're not paying attention. So just pick my brains as I go through, anything at all. If you want to discuss or add in, happy to do it. There's a lot of things that potentially we can't do, like unless we do a lesson at 10 o'clock at night time driving.
It's still even quite light at this time.
Yeah, I know. It was really light last night. The sky was really light, still really late, and they were all weather driving. So we might have to cover that in theoretically.
I did drive when it was kind of snowy, so the roads were kind of, that slush.
Yes.
But I haven't driven in heavy rain.
Okay. All right.
So I was hoping that would happen, but it didn't. So
You never know. We'll turn right at the roundabout. It's your third exit. You okay with that? You with it, just see where things are. Feel free to talk out loud if you wish.
we're just following straight ahead.
Just keep following it, yeah. Checking out before you actually went, and I think it's very much worth checking there because that's another road that joins this one, and often they're speeding through on that road, you know, and end up undertaking. I guess you've done a bit of work around here, is it?
Yeah, we almost came here almost every time I went to distance, which is funny because I almost failed on this road on my test.
Did you?
Yeah, because I stayed too long in the right lane, thinking that she may wanna, because the test seemed super short. Like literally, like it was only like 10 or 15 minutes. So I was like, no, we're definitely going somewhere, turning off right. So I was like, should I stay here or not? She was like, just drive as you normally would. I was like, oh, there definitely should be a left lane, but she passed me because there was no one behind me.
You didn't affect anybody else.
Yeah,
It's a big thing on the test.
So for anyone watching, if you think you should be doing something that you've been taught, but you think whatever that,
just keep going. Just keep going.
Just do whatever you've been taught and follow your own brain, I would say. Don't think about anything else. Because I thought that she made me want me to do something.
So you was thinking along the lines of test, weren't you? Rather than real life. This is what I should do because this is what you do.
Because I know every time I went on that road, as soon as we went on that turn, I changed lanes to the left right away. But that time I didn't because I was thinking too much. So don't think too much.
Yes, yeah, dangerous thing thinking. Too much than a mile. When we get to the end, we'll turn right.
The roundabout, you mean?
Yes, please. Third exit. So what's this said? Is this a... Why is this a dual carriageway and not a single carriageway?
No? Maybe because... I don't know.
We'll come back to that in a bit. Just go straight on your next direction. Makes sense. Easing off the gas gives you time, doesn't it? It'll pass doubly as quick if you're not accelerating at the same time. A lot of people miss that, keep accelerating. So yeah, right third exit, just to remind you. You are good to...
Oh, that's weird.
Don't worry. Second exit. Pardon?
It's over the lines, tiny bit there.
A little bit. Thank God you didn't signal right though. The amount of people I tell to go straight on there and they signal right. I think what we'll do, we'll pull up, we'll have a little chat about the drive, and we'll get over to some slip roads. Really just want to make you feel at ease in the car before we start doing all that new stuff, you know, that we want to focus on. So when we get to the roundabout, could you turn left? Go straight on. Second exit. Just looking for a suitable place for us to pull in. We're on track anyway to get round to the slip roads and whatever.
Just an exit.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is one round here. I think we'll have to sort of come off this road, and again we're still on track. Yeah, just beyond this one. Okay, you can. Good, nice decision making, based on actual facts, not, you know, oh I'll do it just in case. Well, I don't think that's good enough. You've got to be sure, aren't you, as a driver? If you're not sure what's coming, then you should be. Anyway, so how did you find that? First real sort of drive we've done, because the first lesson was, well, we were stuck in that heavy Little mixed traffic.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the beginning we was getting used to the car and whatnot. So how did you find that on the whole?
Most of it felt alright, except that roundabout when I messed up the gears. I should have just slowed down more instead of going one by one. Because I was like, oh wait, 6 gears, which one do I need? It's a I mean, it's a tiny bit different than the car I was driving with, like learning to drive with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job, considering, right? I can help you with your roundabout, you know. You're slowing down lovely and early, mirrors, signal and everything. It's really good, but I think after that slowing, you could do more with your gears earlier. Well, maybe it is the different gear stick, which is why there's a bit more hesitation. But your timing's very good. So if we get the gearing and the clutch up, the approach gear, have you got that in your head as I think, like you're approaching an approach gear to go?
Yeah, if it's kind of like an open visibility roundabout, and no one's there, I can just go in third. Say if I was already in third, or I'm not sure. But typically it's supposed to be second, right?
It's not supposed to be anything. I mean, it depends on the car. Like this car likes higher gears at lower speeds anyway. So, so this car probably I'd end up doing in third gear more than I would other cars. We said that like diesel cars have more power lower end, so sometimes I'll go third or second in my other car, which is a diesel, and I'm off. So that would be too quick. So it is getting used to the specific car. But I think if it's coming off a fast-paced road, like you say, visibility's early. Let's get into third gear, clutch up early, keep that speed more consistent and smoother, as not to upset any speed behind us. Keep that flow. Then, because the clutch will be up, if we need to drop to second, then we can to buy more time.
Yeah.
So I just think just getting that gear in, is you set yourself up to do it, just not really getting the gear in. That'll be really good.
What if it's kind of like if I'm going, say, third exit, or going all the way around it, so I need to kind of make a tight turn around? Wouldn't second gear be better because of the engine braking?
Yes, it would. If it was a tight one, yeah. So, I mean, some you're going to do second anyway, because, again, you mentioned on the approach, visibility might be bad. So second's going to be slower, therefore give you more time to look, assess it, decide on it, and then act on it. And then, as you're going round, like you say, you haven't got to be braking. The car's braking for you. Yeah, I completely agree with that. So that roundabout back there, did you do that one on your second? It made sense to, really. So you can't see that. Oh, you can see on approach, but it's quite tight as you go round. So what I might do, I might just give you a little bit of guidance with the gears. Do you want to practice the change from 6 to 3 so that you feel how it should feel before we get to any? Because we're going to come up to major roundabouts on this course, aren't we? So we might as well be adding this in as we're going.
So 6 now.
Yeah, that's it. And then it'll just be clutch up.
So it almost pops into the middle, and I just need to
feel the pop. Yeah. Feel it pop, and then just push forward. Because when it pops, you know where it is, and it can't be anywhere other. Because that's.
Yeah, see, because it's the 6th gear that messed me up. Because I was like, wait, no, that's not third.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Let's go 6 to 2, because you might need to do that. So if we're in 6th and we're coming up, and let's say it's busier, there's more going on, so we need to buy more time. The lower gear promotes lower speed, and will allow for that. So. Without looking, 6 to 2. Good.
Was that what we're?
Yeah.
I would have thought that was 4.
Well, I tell you what you should be looking to feel evidence of is just get your clutch down for me. Is when you pop it to neutral, this you can actually hear it as well, and then backwards. You can't.
So it's like all the way to the wall thingy.
So with that in mind, have another go with that.
Yeah, I heard it now. Okay.
Yeah, but let it pop itself the first bit as well. Yeah, you really can't go wrong like that. So for anybody watching, if you've got issues, I would work out systems almost to recognise, while you're driving. So there I'm tapping into hearing, feeling, and working with this, not against it kind of thing. So I might just give you a few pointers with that if I feel you're not, because you're slowing down lovely, so you'll have loads of time to do it. And I'll just let you know which one I would do. Is that okay? Which gear I'd select if you aren't already. The sideways glance. So I feel sometimes it would be necessary on the routes that we've just done. And
on the bigger one, there was a car coming right behind us.
On the roundabout?
So when I was about to come off the 3rd exit, I think.
Yes.
So wanted to see what he was up to.
Yeah. because I thought you didn't check on that. Did you have a little check, did you?
Yeah, that silverish dark grey car.
Yeah. So the best thing there, you know, because it's quite a fast-paced roundabout, if your signal's a little bit late, where might they think you're still turning?
Either the next exit or all the way around.
So if they start coming out, because your exit's here, you're going round, if they start coming out just behind you and you're going to come off here, there's a real danger that they could speed up, be in a rush, and then there's that crossover point. So if you're counting your exits, even if you can't see number 3, but you've counted
signaling.
Exactly. Yeah. If you've counted 2, because that signal going on will act almost as a, not a barrier, but yeah, an invisible one, because it's like they know what you're going to do. They know what's
the longer signal.
Yeah, they know what's coming. So, so just look to get them a little bit earlier. So I always count the exits, the earliest point I can. Boom, signal. And then just keep tabs with what could be really. Some roundabouts like that will move you outwards, but that roundabout's only 2 lanes, full stop, so it won't spiral you outwards. Are you alright with spiral roundabouts?
I haven't. No, I have done some, but like I guess the best example is the Markeaton one, because it's kind of compact, but still a spiral one.
Yeah.
So I've done like super huge ones where it doesn't really seem like a roundabout anyway.
Yeah, they're like lanes, aren't they? On a big bend.
Seems like just multiple stops.
Okay. Alright, cool. So yeah, and also on some lane changes, so after we come off that big roundabout that we were just talking about, there was a lane change that we did. And I didn't see you have a glance that time, and I just thought, again, something could be catching up off that little cut. There's like a cut through where you avoid the first roundabout. Could be coming down there at speed, and then they could, as we change, they could just be zooming into that space. So what I might do is just implant that. She said you miss it sometimes, didn't you, at the beginning? So shall I just give you a few reminders, or ask you what you're going to check before you go? I think that's it really. Quite happy with your driving, to be fair. Yeah, instructor done a fairly good job, and credit to you as well, because it takes 2 to tango. Right, so the slip roads then. Let's have a look. Yeah, drive on when you're ready. Got a mini roundabout coming up. We'll turn left there. Sorry, I think I confused myself there.
Is it supposed to turn out more? I can never figure out this many roundabouts.
Is it what, sorry?
Is it supposed to turn out more, or is it okay to kind of
go round it?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah, so we've got to make best efforts to go round it. The reason being is because if somebody wants to go kind of use the roundabout as well at the same time, if you cut it, you could cut into them, or they could use it. Do you see what I mean? So all it says in highway code is you must make best efforts, but it says you must though, so it is, if you did cut it, you could expect to get pulled over, because it's quite a serious one if it says must, if there was a copper behind you or whatever. So turn left please at the end. Quite an easy car to drive once you get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, every car's got its little.
I gotta say, it took me longer to get used to that car than this one.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, okay, I was a completely new driver, so that might be a factor. But
yeah.
It took me, I don't know, like 5 lessons to be comfortable with the steering. And it just, well, it was older probably anyway.
got a roundabout ahead and we're going to go straight on at it. It's second exit. So start braking a little earlier. Drop to third, clutch up here, looking because it's clear. Change lanes one to the right. Don't forget that. Well, good. Now we're going to turn right from this lane next. Okay.
On the roundabout.
Yep. It's second exit.
Yeah, I think this was the area in your videos that I recognized. I was like, hey, I have a chicken here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you found me on YouTube, didn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, right second exit. Signal here. Everything okay there?
I just missed the first exit.
Get that counting system more established. I think that'll help you, won't it? Because if you're driving in areas where you're not familiar with, you're going to need these little tools that can just take the stress out of it a little bit. So what are you thinking about the speed? All different roads around here, aren't they? Always changing. Some of them might surprise you and still be 30. Some might not be. Just keep following this lane ahead. Cool. Following it for the ring road. And then what does that green sign tell us there? Yeah. Ours is the slightly longer one. What does solid white lines mean? Okay. Let's get that signal a little earlier so traffic can see it and potentially respond to it. Might be in the silver one's blind. Okay. Do you know what I mean by might have been in that silver one's blind spot?
Yeah, I've been told to avoid that.
Sorry?
I've been told to avoid that.
Yeah. So where would we be if it was right in its blind spot?
Kind of almost on the back of it. Close to it.
Yeah, I reckon if the front bonnet of the car was level with their door mirror, or just behind, yeah, like you say, just behind there, you might not see us.
Kind of like outside the back door, maybe.
Yeah. So nothing wrong with that slip road there, really.
That one's quite easy though. It's not too busy, I don't think.
Okay. Let's keep this going then. Let's look at some other ones. We'll just keep following this lane straight ahead for now. What might that van do? Gear now, 6 to 4. To me it looked like...
Sure about coming right now.
To me that looked like he was going to do that regardless. I don't know why, he just always did. Because we don't really want to slow like that if we can help it on those sort of roads, do we, without braking, but we just got to judge it really, look for any clues that they might come out at us. Now, for a better view around this right bend, where would you be better to position? So if we come across, a bit more, keep the power on.
Going to the curb.
If you look at your door mirror, can you see the gap? Big gap, yeah? So it's breaking that mould. I've noticed that sometimes you drive, you tend to hook the right a little bit. I can help you with that. First of all, making you aware. Alright, what we got then?
Mirrors.
Yeah. So let's start up in that. Yeah. Anything coming in the far distance that we need to speed up for? Maybe the van behind. Good. Keep that speed going. A little bit more conviction with that. To say to you, I mean you might have a different name for it, but I'd sort of say like ask you to check if your escape route's clear. If something's coming on a slip road, what would that mean?
What do you mean?
If something's coming up on a slip road and it's got a signal on and you're coming down on the carriageway.
Oh, you mean if my right hand light's working?
I think we'll come off at the next exit if that's okay. It's quite a short slip road. That's good. Try and just do all the gears, everything in the slip road so we're not changing speed too much on the carriageway. We've got the protection of this little slip road, good stuff. Anything followed us in, just get to second, palm left, hop, that's it, clutch up. Remember to tap into that if you're unsure, back to neutral, let it go so you know where it is, and then just... And I think the thing is, if you try and put it into neutral, it won't sit perfectly in the middle, so it'll feel like you don't know where it is. So let go, let it pop, and then take it from there. You see, like that, you could go towards the walls of fifth.
Yeah, I almost did it.
So a little bit less effort. That'll sound strange. A little bit less effort, and that'll help you. Just look for a safe place, really, to pull in on the left, anywhere you like.
No junction.
There's a little lay-by here, not a bus stop or anything. We can use that raised curb. That'll do us.
Should I have the closer in the truck?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Just pop us back a little bit so we're not blocking these drives, if you don't mind.
Backwards, I mean?
Yeah, just backwards a little bit.
What's this supposed to do?
Oh yeah, you've not used it before, have you?
No.
That's it, you've found it.
Yeah, basically just brake over it.
That's it, I was going to ask you about that. Nothing over the right shoulder developing, is there, before we
No.
always check that, because you wouldn't see it coming, you see, if something was. You'd see it only when it's joined you behind. Just so we're clear this. So if we're in line with that wall there, we're not blocking anybody's entrance should they come back. That'll do us. Okay, right. So, I don't see any immediate problems with what I've seen so far. How are you feeling with it, with what you've done?
It's just the gears. Sometimes I had also on my lessons problems of, I think it was actually that particular step road, of just getting stuck when I'm trying to like turn and doing like so many things at the same time, especially because it's such a tight turn.
It is, yeah.
Sometimes going from a higher gear down to a lower one, get stuck. Or I mean, I don't do it properly.
Do you remember what I said the missing ingredient is? Because I believe it's just that. Just letting it go to neutral and letting go of it.
So I should have been in third, right? No, second?
I think third would have been good for that bend. We slowed down quite a bit in the end, so second kind of was relevant then to go round. It weren't wrong, it's not wrong, but the name of the game really is to keep the drive as smooth and as continual
Yeah, it's not
to aid traffic.
too much.
Yeah, really, if you can.
Not too much.
Yeah. Just so it's reasonable. I think third would have been alright there. Didn't kind of bend back round on itself or anything. It was so it's probably worth just going over that again and just focusing on what it should feel like when you go to neutral.
You mean the
Yeah,
dips?
I think so. I think that'll be good for us because
So if I'm from 6th there.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh no, then I just go down. Oh no, see
Yeah.
that's because I'm used to going from 5th to 2nd like that.
Yes.
Because here it's from. Well, that's 3rd.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about 2nd.
So if you're going to go 6 to 3, what's the first step? so that you know.
Just pop it out of 6 to neutral.
Exactly. Do you reckon you could go 3 to 6 in the same manner? Do you reckon you could do the reverse back to 3, focusing on that pop bit?
No, see, I almost switched to 1. Go.
As soon as it pops, it's in the middle, yeah? So 3 sits directly above. Straight forward then. Push it a bit quicker so the pop happens a bit quicker. Just forwards then though, not left or anything.
Slap in some book.
So, do you reckon you could do that 3 times in a row? Without, yeah.
That almost went into 4th.
Better though, isn't it? Just practicing it.
It's just I have to remember that it's already going to be in 3rd, and I don't have to move it anywhere else sideways.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, in line with it. Okay, right. So yeah, really, all that making sense about. Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you, what would you do then if there was a car coming up a slip road and there was something gaining on you in the right-hand lane? So you're coming down, something gaining in the right-hand lane quite quick, but there's also a car coming up that's going to come on.
Come off the gas or brake. Well, depending on how close someone's behind me. If not, then I can brake as much as I need to.
Yeah. And you could incorporate that long warning, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Which I liked when we exited, or I think we was going to exit. You got the brake signal on again, nice and long, which is really good for the traffic behind, particularly when they're travelling at 70. All right, so yeah, I think just keep going with it. I think personally, there's more danger on A roads regarding slip roads because of the variable different types. Because sometimes it's a T junction.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me a question about this. I'm going to get back to them on my channel. It's like a T junction onto a 70.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen one?
No.
So that poses quite a lot of risk.
Yeah.
It means that when you get on, you're going to have to get up speed from nothing and match. So the judgment's got to be bang on. Is that something that you'd like to do on this course?
Sure, yeah.
So you might not choose to do them by choice, but it could be a sat-nav that you're following and you're dependent on the sat-nav to get somewhere. You're on a time limit, you know, it could be a bit daunting. Especially the slowing down bit. When you have to slow... You remember when I said to you, change gears in the protection of the slip road?
Yeah.
There's no protection on the T-junctions. You just turn off of the carriageway straight in. So you've got to do all the work on... And you're literally travelling, well, between 5 and 10 mile an hour ready to turn in.
Yeah.
So it's a real art. So we'll have a look at that as well. Okay, we'll drive on when you're ready. What's that?
Talking to the handbrake.
Oh, okay. And then we'll take the next road on the left. Following this road straight ahead, it's going to lead us back to a slip road onto an A road. But it's quite a short one. You know which one I mean?
A scary one.
It comes up on the driving test sometimes in Derby, this one.
I think if it's the one I mean, it was the one on my test where I was supposed to turn into, but there was a lorry coming right next to me. Like, I think he was trying to turn out, so I just had to go past it.
Okay.
So it wouldn't have been safe either way.
Right. So same again, I'll kind of see how it feels when we're going. If you feel like you're not doing stuff as you need to in time, I'll just up the instruction and get you doing what you need to do. And we'll turn right at the end.
Oh, there was no break, so right?
Yep. Is slip road, yeah, at the end. So what's the speed limit going to be? Yep. What's the sign mean underneath it?
No stopping.
You got it.
So yeah, I just go straight on.
Yeah, but we just got to look to not disrupt anybody. Have a look over your shoulder here, back forwards. Right signal on early. Ease off, let the lorry come. Okay, fine. That lorry really helps us out there, to be honest. Otherwise, we'd have to keep slow for a lot longer, let the lorry pass, because he might not have been able to do that another day. All that making sense? Again, just for me, just struggling to pitch the right level of instruction, I feel. You're already quite good, I think, you know what I mean? Like, so...
That lorry is just really nice.
Yeah,
it's
really.
moving out for everyone.
Yeah. Not bad at all, eh? You asked me earlier, shall I overtake? What's the general purpose of these roads? Just put them all centre. Your right tyres are they're almost on top of the white line. That's it, good. Do you usually check this to check your distance, or did that prompt from me earlier spark that check?
I'm not sure. No, probably not.
Keep checking it, because you might have a big gap this side between bodywork and curb, and a small, if any, gap between bodywork and white paint that side. What's the danger of being too far across to the right? On this road, particularly, let's just say this road.
Smashing some cars passing by.
Could do. Could knock mirrors if they're badly positioned, or they might not overtake. They might be a bit hesitant. They might think you're falling asleep. Or
the reason I asked to overtake before, I thought we were going on quite longer for that road, but if it's obviously 1 mile, then there's no point.
yeah.
Because he was going super slow.
What do you see in your mirrors?
Ambulance. Maybe diesel's moving in.
Is there anybody that we're going to need to help to allow them to move in to work together?
Those two probably, unless they really speed up.
Yeah. So you've left the gap. That's good. So positioning then just a little bit over to the right. So keep popping yourself left. You know if you know you. So what might this lorry do if it's slowing?
The one right in front of me.
Yeah.
Go off the slip road, next road.
Could be there could be a parking bay as well.
Oh.
So if you have any suspect that could be changing speed, we don't want to get boxed in. So check your mirrors and make plans to, not necessarily definitely, but make plans to come round. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good stuff. So we might be looking for these. We might not. But that's the point. We need to be over prepared rather than under prepared. So what's gaining on us? Okay. If we cause lorries to overtake, how could that? Why would that be a problem? It's just going to cause congestion. It's going to take a long time, isn't it, to pass us and then move in. And then we'll come off at the next exit in half a mile, so we won't do any overtaking now, just getting you thinking there. So we'll come off at the next exit in 300 yards. Try and keep the speed up. As you'll see on that big diagram here, it's quite a long stick off, which indicates a longer slip road. That's it. And then use this protected area to then reduce your speed, you know, your brake and then your gears. What we'll do is we'll turn right at the roundabout for Long Eaton. Cancel the signal, it'll pass quicker. Drop your speed, drop your gear. Hold back about here. Check the signal on for the other van that's coming. Easy. Lots lots of steer on, lots, and then over to, and that way your back end won't be sticking out into the left-hand lane. Now if you get the front cranked right over, and then in, almost overdoing it.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm going. Yeah.
Hopefully not. So we're going to turn right here for Long Eaton. It's the 4th exit, I believe. That's it, good stuff. And it's 3 lanes, what are you expecting on this? Come to the middle. See, it says Long Eaton on the middle and on the floor. So it's like one of those spirals.
Oh, okay.
Where it moves you out. So slow it down a bit on a spiral, because you might need to observe some more signs or markings on the floor.
Is that
That Long Eaton white sign there and the arrow. So we've ended up in the left, and we look at Long Eaton on the floor confirming. So whenever you're on a new roundabout, and one like this, because this is one that leads you onto M roads, motorways, these big ones like this, it's where an A road and an M road crosses. It generally will do this sort of stuff, the spiral, just because it has to have so many lanes to cope with all the volume of traffic. So just keep speed a bit steady, particularly when it's round bends. It's the next exit. How could you have made that gear change easier so it was a bit more...
Just pop it out and not touch it.
Not touch it apart from the push forward, yeah? Then we get to the end of the road, we'll turn left. Roundabout coming up. Visibility's great. Let's do something with it. Let's get in the approach gear earlier. Looks busy. Yeah. Signals are on those cars, aren't they? Keep looking, keep moving. Do you think theoretically it could have kept moving then? Do you think that was possible?
What do you mean?
Do you think if you were more prepared, you could have kept going?
Oh, I'm not sure to be honest.
Just keep it steady. Yeah, they were all turning left. So what we've got to do, we've got to get that gear and get that clutch up and get that speed slower earlier and get their mobs working. Forward, right. Don't pay so much attention to the left side. Do take it into account, yes, but... And take next road on your left coming up. You see it? Is that something that you do regularly? Now, where you come off the brake there whilst changing gear to second before turning in?
I mean, hop or...
Just pull up on the left for us. Cheers. Nice one. Sorry, what did you say?
Which part did you mean?
Again, you might not even be aware of it, so this might be something that's worth going over. When you're changing gears to turn into a road, you had to go back on the brakes as you were turning, and that's because the speed was a bit quick.
Yeah, so I should slow down more and then change it.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, and how would you do that and make it smooth?
Slow down to the appropriate gear and just switch the gear.
Which is what you did. The bit that was missing is staying on the brake.
Oh,
So you know, whilst you're changing gear, still be on the brake. After you've changed gear, maybe you're still on the brake. It depends how much speed you had initially and how sharp, how visible the turn is. So that will make it smoother and slow you down. And I think, you know, when you were coming down to that roundabout, you were downhill, wasn't it, that mini roundabout where we turned left?
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 cars turned left. In theory, we could have kept going. In order to be confident to make that decision, though, you need to be controlled so that you can
Yeah.
look
Just
and
more
take it.
concerned with what gear I'm in and what I'm going in the gear I'm in.
Yeah, makes sense. So I'm going to encourage you to just stay on them brakes a bit longer.
Mhm.
We'll see what that does when we're approaching stuff. I think that'll help you out quite a bit. I want to ask you one more question. How would you know that a road is a dual... I asked you this earlier, but it wasn't really appropriate timing from myself. I'm going to ask you again. How would you know that something's a dual carriageway as opposed to a single carriageway?
There's 2 lanes going one way and there's a central reservation. And there's traffic going opposite way on those lanes.
Yeah. Does it have to be 2 lanes, both ways?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I would think so, no?
No.
No?
Because the barrier in the middle, or the physical divider, could be a curb, it could be just something, as long as it's not white paint, because you could veer over white paint, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
The divider makes it 2 lanes, so that's where the dual comes in.